It's a day many have waited months for. Entertainment centers are back open for business. What's being done to keep you and your family safe?
Plus, it's a rare but severe complication of coronavirus in children. Now researchers say a similar syndrome has been found in adults.
And the defenders with new information on the terror suspects accused of trying to kidnap Governor Whitmer and put her on trial. Thanks for joining us for Local 4 News at 6, everybody. Prosecutors say the alleged terror plot was set to take place this month at the governor's vacation home. And now 13 men are facing charges ranging from supporting acts of terrorism to felony firearms charges. Today, 38-year-old Sean Fix of Belleville appeared for court via Zoom. He's facing terrorism and weapons charges. Court documents allege the plot started during the coronavirus lockdown in March. Local 4 defender Sean Lay talked to an expert who's been tracking online and encrypted messages of hate and says they've been growing against the governor ever since.
A Southfield businessman, he tracks hate speech and online ties to terror. He says when the governor started shutting down parts of the state last spring, he went right to encrypted apps, and he says he saw right away an explosion of anger towards the governor.
Are you surprised at the news that broke yesterday?
Not at all. I've been tracking it since April. I'm not surprised in the very least.
How could someone not be surprised about a plot to kidnap and kill Governor Whitmer? Eric Feinberg is with the Coalition for a Safer Web, an online terror watchdog group. He says when the governor started shutting down many facets of the state due to COVID, he went right to encrypted apps and watched a storm of anger form against her.
Once something gets into the social media or encrypted app mainstream, you start building on the hashtags and you start bringing together people of like minds within this group.
The like-minded agenda, the agenda of anarchy.
Bring it all down. That's what they all want to do, is bring it all down.
But putting the talk into motion is different. Feinberg says very much like any terrorist, spending so much time during lockdown online, becoming radicalized.
What do we really have to look forward in our lives? So what's happening is we're all spending time online. We're looking at this stuff and we get amped up, and it's no different how ISIS or Al-Qaeda recruits people. If there's no opportunity and you don't see anything, you start going online and you start getting radicalized by this stuff. It results in real world consequences.
With one alleged plot now foiled, Feinberg says he remains vigilant. He remains online looking to see if other talk turns into action. Sean Lay, Local 4 Defenders.
Sean, and stay with Local 4 and click on Detroit.com for the latest on this story. Right now online, you'll find a deep dive into the investigation, how the FBI was able to uncover the operation, and what we know about the men charged.
Police are investigating after a rapper is shot at his West Bloomfield home. This shooting happened around 3 a.m. on Janet Drive. Sources tell us the 34-year-old victim is known as Magnificent Lifestyle. This morning he posted social media video saying he had been shot. Police say firefighters took him to the hospital. They did not share his condition. Police are looking for the suspects at this hour.
In a Local 4 News update, Warren police are talking with a person of interest in the murder of a 6-year-old little boy and a woman. Investigators say they raided a home this morning in West Bloomfield. It comes as police have been working to find who killed 6-year-old Tyrez Moore and Isis Rimson at a Warren home last week. The boy's father was found burned to death in a car in Detroit. Right now, no one is under arrest. All right, time now for a check of the weather.
Yeah, Ben's here, and I think the message is, folks, make some plans for tomorrow. Hey, Ben.
Yeah, cider mills outside, just about anything is going to be a good choice tomorrow. Temperatures similar to what we saw today, and maybe even a little bit warmer. Look at some of these numbers that are still going on out there. We did see 80s in the south zone. Current temperatures right now pretty close to that mark. 78 in Adrian, Metro Airport at 76, and everybody else not far behind. Coolest numbers, Mount Clemens at 69, and Port Huron, which is at 70 degrees. Now, compared to what we saw yesterday, those numbers are anywhere between the 10 to 15 degrees warmer than yesterday. 76 is where we're going Saturday, 68 on Sunday, but of course we are still watching Hurricane Delta, which is just now starting to crawl ashore here in the Gulf Coast states. We'll be watching that as we get forward into the next 24 to 36 hours. As far as you can track that live online in the local forecasters app, Download it for free in your app store, hit the More button, and search Hurricane Tracker. You get all the updates, the forecast, and the data at your fingertips, and it's always free in your app store by searching WDIV, guys.
Yeah. Okay, Ben, thank you. Now to the latest coronavirus numbers. The state reports 1,095 new cases with 7 deaths in the last 24 hours. It's also the first time the state has reported 3 straight days of 1,000 or more new cases since April 14th through 16th.
In other headlines, the Department of Health and Human Services has issued new regulations mirroring Governor Whitmer's previous orders. This comes after the state Supreme Court ruled Governor Whitmer didn't have the power to unilaterally dictate COVID restrictions based on the 1945 law. The new order is in effect until October 30th. Well, spring turned to summer and summer turned to fall, and finally, beloved entertainment centers are opening for the first time since the COVID crisis hit.
It's been a long time, but bowling alleys, movie theaters, and trampoline parks have the green light now to open again. Local 4's Rod Maloney has a story from Commerce Township.
Okay, for those of us who don't bowl that much, the bowling centers have actually been open since September, but only for competitive bowling. The U.S. Bowling Congress saying that the competition rules are what allowed for that. But now the new rules are under the recreational bowling rules, and if you want to just come out and roll, the doors are open. Commerce's Wonderland Lanes, nearly all 40 of them open today. Mitchell Augenstein came to practice for the first time. He's been in league bowling and admits he needed to improve, but it's more about getting back to normal.
It's always good to have a bit of normalcy to life.
Brothers Jay and Andy Hodis came out today, accompanied by their tutor, Rachel Rossell. These young men with special needs use bowling as their recreation and therapy. Rachel says their return after 6 months is a happy moment.
I think that we miss it a lot. It's one of our main activities that we like to do outside of tutoring, outside of doing other things. We played 5 games today. We usually play 4, and we just get going, and we have a lot of fun with it.
Meantime, just up the street in Waterford, they're dusting off and shining up at the MGR movie theater, also looking forward to their first customers coming back since spring. Back in Wonderland, owner Dave Hochstein, who's hung on for dear life, is happy to get the doors open again.
We're thrilled. I mean, we've missed our customers.
And the social distancing rules still stay in effect. And here at Wonderland, what they're doing is they're lighting 2 lanes and then they're darkening 2 lanes to make sure people are staying far enough apart. In Commerce Township, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
Okay, Rod, and Wonderland's bar and restaurant are both open as well, but they are only allowing waitresses to serve socially distanced tables. They'll provide no bar service at either spot.
The ongoing mask debate has found its way to Livingston County as commissioners there approved a resolution to rescind the mandatory mask rule inside county buildings. Jamie Edmonds reports tonight on that.
Months ago, the Livingston County Board of Commissioners approved a COVID-19 plan that included wearing masks in county buildings. But now that the Supreme Court has struck down emergency orders from the governor, some commissioners believe that maybe the mask rule should be rescinded. Everywhere you look in Howell, people are wearing masks.
I feel like for the safety of myself and others, we should wear them.
Since May, it's been mandatory to wear a mask inside county buildings. But County Commissioner Wes Nakagiri says that rule should be revisited.
We've flattened the curve enough to back off on the mandatory use of masks.
Nakagiri introduced a resolution this week in a county commissioner subcommittee. It states that the mask mandate inside county buildings was predicated on an unconstitutional order from the governor. Nakagiri says his constituents in District 3 have contacted him questioning the effectiveness of masks, the health of their kids who wear masks, so he looked at data for the county.
Livingston County's death rate, per 100,000.
Per data from the state of Michigan's website, about 181,000 people live in Livingston County. There have been 1,507 coronavirus cases and 32 deaths. Nakagiri says other counties with higher numbers may want to have a mask mandate inside county buildings, but here he believes it's not warranted. He says it should be left up to residents.
I would leave it up to the individual acting in their own individual best interest.
So we asked people what they thought, to wear a mask or not.
Yes and no. Yes, as long as they were like maybe 6 feet away from me and they weren't touching everything. No, if we had to be super close.
That resolution passed 4-0 and now goes to the full board. They will discuss it on October 13th, and they welcome public participation via Zoom. In Livingston County, Jamie Edmonds, Local 4.
All right, Jamie, also important to remember this comes after the Department of Health and Human Services has instituted a new statewide mask order. Back in the spring, doctors identified a rare but severe complication of coronavirus in children and named it Miss C.
Well, now the CDC says a similar syndrome has been identified in adults as well. As in children, it can occur several weeks after a person appears to have recovered from COVID-19, making it difficult to diagnose. It's called multisystem inflammatory syndrome in adults, or MIS-A for short. It's not the same as a severe case of COVID-19. This mysterious syndrome is a post-infection complication. The average patient in the CDC report developed MIS-A about 2 to 5 weeks after first experiencing COVID symptoms. The CDC says MIS-A has killed at least 3 adults. In a weekly report, the agency described the cases of 27 adults between the ages of 21 and 50. Most had extreme inflammation throughout their bodies and malfunction of organs such as the heart, liver, and kidneys, but not the lungs. 1/3 of the 27 patients tested negative for coronavirus infection, but tested positive for antibodies, which indicated they had been infected in the past. All but one of the MIS-A patients described in the report belonged to a racial or ethnic minority group. Symptoms include fever lasting 24 hours or more, chest pain or irregular heartbeat, evidence of heart dysfunction, gastrointestinal symptoms, and rashes. The CDC says doctors should consider MIS-A as a possible diagnosis in adults who are experiencing these symptoms. It's also another reason for people of all ages to take steps to prevent the spread of COVID-19. And the CDC said 10 adult patients in the report required intensive care. 3 were intubated and 3 died. And 2 young adults, their first symptoms of the syndrome were major strokes.
Still to come, ready to hire. A major store chain is looking for about 1,000 new workers. We'll tell you where to apply coming up.
Plus, after having his bike stolen, a Shelby Township 12-year-old gets a brand new one. Coming up, we'll introduce you to Leland.
While we wait for a COVID-19 vaccine, take advantage of a vaccine that's already here. A flu shot is more important than ever this year so that hospitals don't get overwhelmed with sick patients when flu season starts. Just about everyone over 6 months old should get vaccinated.